Scorpio, well, here we are. Let's go with your horoscope for this Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Let's see what message the cards have for you, my friend. Scorpio, well, here we go. Let's talk, you and I, as always before we begin. I invite you to support me with that like, to subscribe if you haven't already, or even better, share this video on social media so it reaches where it needs to go and to whom it needs to reach. You see, what comes out at a general level seems suitable for the fixed signs, and personally, I like it. Look, the Death card appears, a very noble card. Although some people fear it, and of course, it's an intimidating card, I love it for what it reflects, you know? It's a very poetic card, full of symbolism. Just like the Fool card, for example, it's a beautiful card, both upright and reversed. What happens here, apparently, my dear Scorpio, is that we're going to play the role of tarot readers, those from the New Age, who wear a robe, a cape, you know? Today would be close to change, today you would be closing yourself off to transformation, but here's where I agree with you, here's where I say, well, okay, Scorpio has a point. Whether it's valid or not, well, you'll know because I also make mistakes daily and all the time, but it's a change you don't want to make because it doesn't come from you. It's a change someone else wants you to make. It could be family, it could be the love of your life, it could be the boss. So, this theme clearly matches the stubbornness of the fixed signs. What happens is that I have addiction problems, and my family wants me to change. I don't want to change, because I like being addicted. Obviously, that's wrong, that's terrible, and in that case, listen to your family. That's why I always say it depends. I sometimes take care of the things I say, well, not all the time, but sometimes. When it comes to others, you'll see that any tarot reader will come and tell you that you're right and the world is wrong, right? You've heard that a million times. Many times, those people are right, and that's what I can't figure out because, for example, let's say you're in love with someone, and this person gives you conditions. This person says things like, well, Scorpio, I connect with you, but if you change this or that, obviously not. If you become submissive, if you do what I say, if you become my slave, then obviously I understand why you resist change. There, I completely agree with you. You see, sometimes the pretty one stops by to say hello, that's where it is. Ah, it's barely visible now, a little piece of that beautiful, noble, sweet creature. But as I was telling you, it depends. What's certain is that today wants to close a change. I hope you're taking the right path. Now let's move on to the work and economic part. Hey, it makes me angry, because here the tarot, this is the type of tarot reader I don't want, but here the tarot talks about some kind of Judas at work, some kind of traitor in the professional field, a colleague, the boss, a client who will sell you out, Scorpio, but it's someone who wishes you ill, someone who might set a trap for you, you know? They might trip you up, so you make a mistake. And the worst part is that, this doesn't seem to change. For that reason, I tell you, if we go classic tarot readers, we would say something like Scorpio, dear Scorpio, someone is going to betray you today at work. Maybe you work in a highly competitive place, maybe your competition speaks ill of you now. I'll tell you one thing in that regard, not only does it seem valid to me, it seems brutal. For example, I would love it if some tarot reader spoke ill of me, you know? Because that would arouse curiosity in people. They would say, well, who is this handsome bald guy they're talking so badly about? Let's see. You know what I mean? If it's your competition, great, brutal, excellent, wonderful. But with people like that, you can't work. But you don't know where I work. That's what they usually tell me in private consultations, for example, models, actors, actresses who have consulted with me. I know it happens sometimes in sales, but well, also in everyday life. Sometimes I think, excuse me for talking about genders, but this happens a lot between women, between men, not so much, you know? I've seen it in some environments, yes, but it's not usual, but well, that's how it is. Regarding the economic part, look, here the tarot invites you to save to travel, to save to go on a trip, Scorpio. How nice, isn't it? How cool. Of course, this can also be seen in many ways, or it opens up to multiple interpretations. You know, these days I've been connecting with certain content that says something like, according to your birth chart, it would be good to go live in certain countries. In fact, you can find that on the internet. You know that phrase that says that nobody is a prophet in their own land. It happened to me personally in Venezuela. Nobody sees me there, it's a minority. Actually, I think there are countries where another language is spoken before Venezuela, you know? Portugal, Italy. You see Venezuela there, and one goes, okay. Look, I didn't leave the country. Or if I did, it was just for a visit, but I emigrated without emigrating, you know? Maybe the call is for you to move, see? In the case of other Scorpios, it may be that an opportunity arises in the economic part, but in another country, in another city, and it would be good for you to go. Well, my favorite interpretation is to travel for fun, to save to travel and have a good time. You deserve it. Now, if you're a student, look, here comes a certain energy of change, of course. This is a change that comes from you, from your inner being, and it's normal. Remember that the years 2022 and 2023 were extremely tough for you. We come from a very powerful eclipse. Pluto, your ruler, just entered Aquarius. You're starting a new era, I've been telling you. In fact, this card follows the students, the theme of reinventing yourself, the theme of change, the theme of projecting yourself in a different way. It seems super nice. Now let's move on to the sign of older people, to the sign of beautiful people of Scorpio. And if you belong to the group of cool people, if you belong to the VIP group, this card turns today. You're going to have a beautiful day, and you're going to have a beautiful day today. You're going to connect with a reward, Scorpio. But this is what you've earned. This is something you deserve. It's related to karma, but with God, I'm worse than ever, but with positive karma. You see, everyone sees karma as a kind of punishment, and such. No. It has to do with justice, my friend. What happens is that as you behaved well in the past, you're going to connect with a reward, or someone is going to intervene in your favor, beyond what we saw at a labor level or beyond what came out at the beginning. There are people who love you, there are people who care for you, Scorpio, or in any case, a great opportunity will open up for you. So, well, let's go with your compatibility, my friend, and today you're going to get along very well with the fixed modality signs. That is, not with a single sign. Remember that you're also a fixed sign. Well, and this we also corroborate at a general level. Which are the fixed signs, Scorpio? Look, obviously, there's you, there's Taurus, there's Leo, and there's Aquarius, you see? You share the same modality. They are signs that root themselves, signs that, in fact, when it's an idea, that idea is already, they are considered stubborn, but I like it because you take care of the structures, you cling to your beliefs, and that's cool. You see, right now you have a very important connection with Aquarius because your ruler entered the sign of Aquarius, I was telling you. Taurus, well, it will always be your soulmate. For astrology, it's a sign you challenge a little. It's a sign you challenge, and it also has to do, now the connection will intensify with everything about Pluto and Aquarius and, of course, you're there, Scorpio, with Scorpio. It's a connection that, well, it's very complicit, very sinful together, seriously, but things work out, and it's great when one Scorpio meets another, and you see here, give me a hug or give me a fist bump, seriously, it's a very beautiful thing. Not all signs have that complicity. I've seen Cancer people tell me, oh, Cancer people, why are you being ridiculous? Seriously, but well, let's go with the sentimental, starting as always with the